Hello YouTube wise, FIFA here, coming at you today with a marquee matchup squad builder challenge prediction video. It's Tuesday morning my time. This will be for the week 4 of April, which is April 28th, 29th, or 30th, or 29, 30, 31, or 30, whatever. Just the week 4 of April to keep it short. So this week's featured a lot of big matchups, so it might be tough for you to squeak in those smaller matchups, but at the same time, with the fact that EA has been making the rewards for this the team of the week pack, this is going to be a lot of competition, so get in early on it, and maybe you have to think of a couple innovative places to invest in. So I really think that this feature has a lot to offer, or this investment technique has a lot to offer, considering that it has been having a revival lately with those team of the week packs, which are extremely important now that EA are taking off all of those informs for the team of the tournament packs, as well as the player of the year. But I'll talk more about that on my Foot Market Watch tomorrow. Now let's get into the actual matchups this week. Really excited about the matchups this week, and of course I love making videos like this because this is easily the most supported video on my channel, or series I should say, and it really just helps out, you know, and good to see that people enjoy what I'm doing and that it actually makes sense. But first we're going to go with Arsenal versus Spurs. Big matchup in the BPL this weekend. I believe it's Sunday. Definitely watching. I got to change that filter. I think I might still have it on special. Of course I do. We're going to go back to gold. So with these, it might be best to invest in some, of course it's always best to invest in the non-rares, but right now that's not good, so too feasible. So this is where you want to pick up the low rated golds for less than 800, 900 coins. I did that last week with the, the Barcelona players, and that worked out perfectly for me. Right here you see these players' prices. Yeah, it looks like 800 might be a lot, but if you're picking up Spurs players for under a K, this matchup is definitely going to feature this Arsenal versus Spurs. So if you're picking up players for under a K, you're going to be making good profit regardless. And of course, it's always nice to have these players in your reserves for future squad builders, as well as this marquee matchups with those team of the week packs this week are so important. All right, next we're also going to look at a matchup that involves Premier League teams with Man United and Man City. I'm just a little worried that this matchup is not going to feature because of its time in when it's played during the week. But at the same time, it still would be big to get these guys regardless for under a K, because they're Premier League players and both of these teams have a high amount of high rated players, which is really important these weeks because of the requirements on these squad builder challenges for the marquee matchups, which have gone up to around 79 to 80, that 80 range for the main leagues, which is kind of difficult if you're throwing out these players every week. So this is really good because people will be having to go out and buy these cards, and you'll be making profit without having to worry. Again, that's Manchester United versus Manchester City. But we're going to shift to the Ligue 1, and if this one doesn't get featured, I'll be very surprised as well. And this is Nice versus PSG. Big kind of top 3 placement indications in this. I know that Nice has kind of faltered a little bit lately, but again, start picking up these players for under 700 coins. If you want to try to get the non-rares under 500, 600, of course that'll be most ideal. But PSG doesn't have too many non-rares, so you're gonna have to be settling for some of their rare cards. But like this guy would be perfect to get if you're trying to do the squad builder challenge, just because you need one of those, and then go ahead and around the league, if you want to pick up some higher rated non-rares, that is a good technique this week. And just regardless, you won't be losing any money in the future because the league always features in some way in some squad builder, so you'll be able to sell your cards on if you just have a little bit of patience regardless. Now we're going to the Serie A. We're going to Italy with me where I am currently right now. I wish I was in Rome. I was in Rome a few weekends ago. I was in Florence last weekend, had a ball in time. But it's Roma versus Lazio, another one that's totally going to feature, and one that they might already be hounding around. If you can see here, it looks like they already have this stuff on lock, but like when packs get opened tomorrow for the new team of the week, you're definitely going to have room to invest. Again, picking up these players for less than 800 coins and the rares less than a K is really solid, considering that this is a matchup that's definitely going to feature. And if you want some innovative techniques, go ahead and look around the rest of the league for over 81 rated players that are still going for less than less than 1.5, because that is where a lot of profit will be. Of course, I know that any player around 80 to 82 is going for higher because of the team of the tournament. But that doesn't mean that there's not space for you to make your profit. So that Manchester United one, Man City one is what I'm a little shaky about. So I'll give you guys one more main one. You know I don't usually do that. Usually I try to give you 4 main ones and a sleeper. But this one is a big game in Russia, and it'd be kind of hard on the Russian league if it doesn't feature, considering it's a big derby. And this is how these originally started, with exclusively derbies rather than just big games. But of course, EA has changed that over time. And the game is between CSKA Moscow and the Spartak Moscow team. 2 big teams in Moscow, 2 high-rated teams in the league. And so if you can pick up these players now for cheap, you're going to be sitting pretty, and especially pick up some of those Russians again. Those guys went for nuts a couple weeks ago. But the thing is, if this is a squad builder challenge, I could see it with a rating around 78, 79, but not needing all Russian players or a large contingent of Russian players. I just can't see that happening. All right, now on to the sleepers. We're going to go to the Turkish league, the Super League, and we are going to see a matchup between Fenerbahce and Istanbul. This is actually an interesting interesting matchup for the top place in the league. I know that Fenerbahce's got a little bit of a lead, but Istanbul's been in like 3rd place, so it's not that far off of teams. And this is one of those ones I'm trying to give you that's like little to no risk. Pick up these players for 350 or less than 450, and you can sell them on again. Of course, the squad builder challenge Eto always helps keep these players' prices stable. And with that in mind, you are not going to have to worry. I might have to take a second to see where this Istanbul one is, because I'm not sure what their last name is. But it's not going to be long. We're just going to go through these real quick. It's not going to be long before you're able to sell them on and make profit regardless. There we go. Nope, that's the wrong one. Nope. Yes, here we go. I'm not going to pronounce this name, but this is the team from Istanbul as well. Not many people are in on this, and you can see there that those guys are going for the rare. Non-rare is going less than 500, and that is huge. That's what you want to see, because those are the type of players that you want to invest in these areas right here, especially if you can get this keeper right here. I'm actually going to drop a couple investments on it, of course. I do practice what I preach, guys, so hopefully that works out for you. I'll show you guys some profit at the end if you want to see what I'm talking about. But now we're moving over to the MLS, where I am from. But interesting, both of these teams are not in America. These teams will be up north in Canada, and we will see a matchup between Montreal and Vancouver. Big rivalry between the Canadian teams. I'm glad. I love seeing this, honestly, to tell you the truth, just because I love seeing the fact that the MLS has distinct derbies. And of course, you want to pick up that Piatti if you can. The non-rare gold Piatti is what you want in this if you can get them. But his price is already, if you can pick him up for 500 coins in this matchup features, you're going to be making a sizable amount of profit. His price is going to go up to around 900 to 1,000 coins, if not more, considering that nowadays it's so important to get those high-rated players just because it makes it easier to complete these squad builder challenges. So, all right, this video is already on 8 minutes. Wow, nuts. But here we go. Here's the Oust is a great player to get. But of course, silver players could work for this too. Lastly, we're taking it, and I say lastly, and this is one of the biggest games we're going to be talking about, and we're going to the Scottish Premier League with the Old Firm Derby. And so I think that this is one that's definitely going to be one of those that could feature, and you can see here player prices are already high on this. It would be so great if this didn't feature, because I don't want to have to spend 1 million coins trying to get some of these players. But it looks like if you can pick up a player for less than $1K right now, do that. And if not, you got to be sniping hard. The Rangers look to be price locked already, and Celtic shouldn't be price locked, considering that there's so many more players they have. Yeah, look, there you go. But pick up these players for less than $1K and then sell them into the hype. I do not, because Celtic versus Rangers, I just am not necessarily too confident on it featuring, so sell them into the hype. But if I had to pick between 2 sleepers that would feature, it'd be the Vancouver, Montreal, and Celtic Rangers. EA love to do that troll where they drop the lower rated teams or like the lower known teams in besides the big boys. But I'll give you a little recap here. My 4 main ones are Arsenal versus Spurs, Nice versus PSG, Roma versus Lazio, as well as CSKA Moscow versus Spartak Moscow, with Manchester United versus Manchester City squeezed in there at the end. Then my sleeper picks for this week are Fenerbahce versus that Istanbul team, Vancouver versus Montreal, and then the Old Firm Celtic versus Rangers. And I realized I haven't been opening a pack at the end of the videos lately, guys, so I'm sorry about that. So let's get in with the pack. Let's see which one do we want to open. Should I troll you guys and only open the silvers? No, just kidding. I got to get that silver player method up soon because that is actually a really solid method. I made a shit ton of coins this last time, but we're gonna go with a big boy pack because I have to make up for it, and we get a big boy in at Montalivo. I'm glad we're getting some of these rares and non-rares, though. We get a player from Besiktas who's not going to feature this week, but we do get a Nice player. So we'll hold on to him just because, as usual, I like to hang on to the players that I think might feature in the Squad Builder Challenge this week. So, guys, make sure you guys leave a like and subscribe. I'm glad I'm back strong doing my thing. Look out for Foot Market Watch tomorrow. If you missed my video about EA trolling me yesterday on the Team of the Tournament packs, it's kind of funny. If you guys have 4 or 5 minutes, go ahead and hit it up. But most importantly, make sure you guys are always watching them on the market. And now, most importantly, stay wise.